What is up, Steelies? This is DanieSteel. I am DanieSteel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's get into it, yeah. Let's get into it. Okay. I've been wanting to talk more about this trial, but I'm going to be honest with you. I was thrown off by a lot of people's reactions to this case because I thought it was an open shut case, Watson, right? And I'm a person who I entered into this, we all grew up Edward Scissorhands. Black people love to add the S at the end. Edward Scissorhands. Edward Scissorhands. We all grew up. We loved the movie. Winona Ryder. Then she went and stole something from the store. Okay, so she was out. Then Johnny went on to do Pirates. I only saw the first Pirate, and of course you see his work because he's one of these actors that you see their work. He works a lot. But I'm going to be clear and frank. I'm not a Johnny Depp fan or stan. I mean, of his work, sure. I think he has quality work. But I never had a Johnny Depp poster up. You know what I'm saying? I can only think of 2 movies of his off the top of my head. I'm just being honest. And that's not to shade him. That's just to say I personally haven't really been into his work. Now, I can't name one movie of Amber Heard's, but, she can't name a movie I've been in, right? Because I've been in some much lower rated movies. But the point is, okay, I don't know these people like that. So I'm not entering into this with any particular bias. In fact, when this case started, I said to myself, I was like, he must be guilty because that's what it looks like now, right? And so let's see how this plays out. I never in a million years thought that Amber Heard was lying, was an abuser herself, that they were in a mutually abusive relationship. I had none of those thoughts going into this trial. And I'm going to make it very clear and frank. I'm not an easily brainwashed, easily indoctrinated individual. I'm not. So again, to see people were going so hard at Amber and they were saying, this is taking feminism backwards, right? I was surprised by that response. I still am. People are very frustrated right now. They feel like feminism has gone backwards. They feel like this is a blow to feminism, right? And so I wanted to start this video off by taking a look at the definition of feminism. Okay? Did this case take feminism backwards? Is this case a blow to feminism? Let's take a look at the definition of feminism. And the definition of feminism is the advocacy of women's rights on the basis of the equality of the sexes. Okay? Belief in and advocacy of the political, economic, and social equality of the sexes, expressed especially through organized activity on behalf of women's rights and interests. Okay? So the core of feminism is equality of the sexes. Okay? And advocacy of women's rights to establish equality of the sexes. Okay? Amber has every right. Everyone has a freedom of speech. But you also have consequences to your freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is not without consequence in the court of law. Okay? All subjects are innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. Okay? In the court of law, you have the right to say whatever you want, but somebody might take you to court for it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think Amber really understands that. A lot of people don't understand that like to throw freedom of speech, right? You absolutely have freedom of speech. Nobody's going to stop you from saying, because there are places in the world where you will be stopped from saying what you want to say. You will be stopped from saying anything that comes to your mind. You can say whatever that comes to your mind here, right? Freedom of speech, but you might be taken to court for it because there's such a thing as defamation. And that's what this case was about. Now, Danie sued, I believe it was the Sun magazine in the UK for defamation, and he lost that case. And Amber felt like that was a win for her. She felt like that was them saying, yes, she is abused. But the standard of proof is different in the UK. The way that they run their legal and justice system is different in the UK than it is in the United States. So when it comes to feminism, I believe that Amber was treated equally to a man who would be in court on such a case. Therefore, I do not believe this is a step back for feminism. I have to make that clear. I have to make that clear. I do not believe this is a step back for feminism. This is a step back for Amber. Okay? Again, because I'm going to repeat it throughout this live. I did not go into this thinking that she was lying. I didn't know anything about them. She's a woman. She said this man abused me. And, we believe victims, right? We believe abuse survivors. At the time, Danie hadn't said, no, she was abusing me, right? He brought that up in this trial. But, in the UK trial, that wasn't his argument. His argument was just she was lying, right? So I believe she got treated equally to if a man was in court for abusing his partner. This is not a step back for feminism. She's her own person. She doesn't represent all women because she doesn't behave like all women. So, I know that rhetoric isn't going to stop, but I'm telling you right now, nobody's buying that because most of the people saying that haven't watched the case. I have religiously watched this case every day for the past month that it's been going on. So, and welcome everyone that's in the room. Thank you for being here. Hey, Cosmic Journey, good to see you. Cosmic Journey says, I'm not picking sides. It's fascinating though. Right. I'm not like, Danie, it is what it is. People that like Danie, good for him. If you like Amber, that's great. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the case. I'm looking at the case and I'm looking at the evidence. I'm not invested in celebrities' lives like that, And so again, most of the people that I see going hard about this case and being like, this is a loss for feminism, losing their heads. Amber Heard doesn't represent women. Most women, come on, y'all, come on now. Most women don't weigh 118 pounds. Most women don't have blonde hair and blue eyes. Amber Heard doesn't represent women. She represents herself. What's up, Princess Leah? Princess Leah says, justice has been served. Case closed. Okay, case closed. All right, that's how a lot of people are feeling about this right now. Danie and his legal team got a lot of applause coming out of the courtroom, And I'm going to go more into this, but I've known women like Amber Heard. Some people are calling her Amber Turd, okay? Turd, okay? Some people are calling her Amber Turd, all right? To be fair, I do believe that was a dog turd. I don't believe that she left a turd on the bed. Dogs, that aren't trained properly can tend to do that. So that makes sense. It doesn't make sense for a human being to leave a turd on the bed. So I'm just going to tell myself, okay, that it was a dog, because I have to believe that, okay? But I've known women like Amber Heard. I told you guys in my first video on this case, women that will behave atrociously. You've seen videos of them. They will behave atrociously. There was this video of a very small statured woman, and she was drunk in an Uber, and she was throwing everything out of the car. And the guy's like, please stop destroying my car. Like, you know, she's like, I'm a doctor, I'll do what I want. She's throwing all this stuff. And she said, what are you gonna do? You gonna touch me? I'm a little girl. And this is a grown woman, but because they are small and thin, because they're short or because they're thin, right? They'll be like, I'm a little girl. You're gonna put your hands on a little girl. Sometimes they'll even say, like, I'm a white woman, right? That these are things that women that behave like Amber Heard have said. Okay, I'm telling you, I went to PWIs my whole life. I know women like Amber Heard. And a lot of the people who are upset and feel like she was an abuse victim, I'm going to tell you guys right now, I think you're indoctrinated. I think you're indoctrinated to this idea that, you know, tiny girls with blonde hair and blue eyes can't do anything like this. And I'm letting you know right now, a lot of women that look like her and move through life like her hold tremendous power in the fact that they know that they're not going to be questioned, that they're not going to be responsible for their actions because they're a tiny girl with blonde hair and blue eyes. Like, they pull this all the time. And America has been indoctrinated. Americans have been indoctrinated to believe that this is the woman to protect. So again, when we talk about women and feminism, Amber don't represent all women. All women do not look like Amber. All women do not move through life like Amber. Okay, this is a woman who has gotten away with almost everything since she could use her femininity, use her feminine, what is it, wiles? Oh, Ken, my husband's working, he can't hear me. Use her sexuality to her benefit. Ever since she could do that, she's been doing it. All you have to do is look at her work. Again, I can't think of any movies of hers that I've personally seen, but I've seen clips of her movies, of her work. And she's very sexualized, and she knows it. She's an actor, so she knows it. Okay? What they don't do is find a beautiful woman that doesn't understand this and make her an actor. It's the beautiful women that understand this that can use that in their acting. Okay? This has nothing to do with feminism. This is Amber Heard. I had an incident with a woman who was around the size of Amber Heard, around the look of Amber Heard. And she was being very passive aggressive, okay? Because she ain't gonna whip my ass. You ain't gonna whip my ass. But so she was being very passive aggressive in our work together. And when I called her out on it and said, you don't talk to or treat anyone else the way you talk to and treat me, and I want to know what's going on there. I asked her straight up, I want to know what's going on there. What is that? She was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, and this is a person, when I was speaking to her in this voice, she would speak back to me in a voice that was a little bit higher. When I called her out on that, she went right back into that voice. Kid, what's that baby voice called that they do? When they do the baby voice? I don't know what you're talking about. The purposeful.
Vocal fry?
Vocal fry. Almost no one naturally has this voice. I said, you don't treat anyone else like this. Is there something going on? Because this is making it difficult for us to work together. She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. She automatically went into, I'm a baby. I'm little. I know, you know. And then when I said, you know what, then let's terminate the relationship the working relationship that we have, because you don't know how to behave. So I'm going to terminate the relationship. I'm not going to be engaging with you because you don't know how to behave. When we would see each other in mutual spaces, the same looks that Amber Heard was giving in court, she would be doing on Zoom calls. The same looks. And it was so disconcerting Because you look at everyone in the Zoom call, everyone has a face where they're looking, they're listening, and she's making these weird Amber Turd faces and looks, and it's scary. It's scary to be around a pathological liar. It's scary because you know how much power they have. I've encountered women like this my entire life at PWIs because I'm not the one and I'm not the two, okay? And so when they can't, and I'm not easily indoctrinated, I don't find them to be perpetual victims the way that they try to come off as. If you're into court TV, you would know about this Wendy Adelson case. And Wendy Adelson's family basically is accused of taking the life of her husband, father of her two sons. And Wendy Adelson's ex-boyfriend, who she started dating after during her divorce, right? After she was divorced, he said she has a personality of perpetual victimhood. That's how she wants to come across. And that doesn't work with me. If you have that personality, I don't care. I'm not going to treat you like you're a baby or a victim. And so these women find me to be a tremendous threat. And these women will eventually and inevitably turn on me and start lies and rumors against me because they're little and they have blonde hair and blue eyes and they're a little girl, right? So, heard it all before, all of your lies, all of your sweet talk. I've heard it before. This isn't anything new. And I think for a lot of the Black people that I see being like, she's clearly innocent. Like, you've never been around women like this. She's not innocent. No one else. I can't walk around and be like, I'm a victim, and like do the Katie Holmes and like pull my hair back behind my ears and be like, I'm a victim. I'm a little girl. I can't do that in this life. In this life, I can't do it. Even at my thinnest. Okay? And you can look at my channel and see I've been very thin at points of my life, years of my life. I cannot do what they do. So y'all haven't been around women like this that move like this, to out your mouth, not watch the trial evidence, and then say, oh my gosh, she's obviously innocent. Like they could never do anything wrong. I don't understand it. She's incapable of wrongdoing because she does yoga every day and she weighs 118 pounds and she has blonde hair and blue eyes. She's incapable of wrongdoing. That's your philosophy. And you'll say, well, are you looking at the court case and you look at the evidence and like, oh, you hate feminism? I'm like, no, I don't. Okay, I practice it a lot more than a lot of women that talk about it, okay? Because when I enter spaces, I'm all about that equality. So what is the evidence, right? What is the evidence? Let's take a look. Let us take a look at some of the evidence in this trial, because again, a lot of the people who are like, he's the abuser, they're only saying that because they have this idea that the man is automatically the abuser. Now, that is generally true. It is generally true. It is. But we can't deny that men have been victims of abuse. We know that. Certainly amongst each other, which a lot of times men have a hard time admitting. They're like, men are abused too. Most of the time it's by other men. Yeah. So y'all need to handle that amongst one another. Figure that out. But yes, men can be abused by women. And again, I watch a lot of court TV, baby. I'm not on this YouTube channel and that YouTube channel. I'm watching court TV. I'm watching interrogation videos. I'm watching crime shows. These are things that I'm interested in. I can't tell you why. It's because I've personally been failed by the justice system. So I know what that's like to be a victim and the justice system lets you down. Let's be clear. Our legal justice system here in America is flawed. It's flawed. And most of the time, the person with the money is going to win. And so again, I understand that people are saying, well, he's got more money. It's not like she brown. It's not like is she working a minimum wage job? You guys are like, he has the money and power. She has money and power too. Not equivalent to him, but she has money and power too. Now, I think she should have replaced her legal team a long time ago. They were not ready for it. Camille Vasquez ate them up. They weren't ready for it. She should have replaced them. And maybe the case would have turned out differently. But she didn't. And she had the money to do that. She could have asked Elon. Okay, why didn't she ask Elon to give her the funds so she could get a legal team comparable to Johnny's? Because she needed that if she was going to win this case. Because it's about the evidence. It's about proof. She didn't have it. She didn't have it, guys. Okay? So again, I entered into this thinking that he was guilty because she's a woman and he's a guy with money, more money and power, and she's this little woman saying I went into it like a lot of people did. But when I watched the case, I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Right? Let's take a look at some of the evidence. Okay. So, this photo here on the right is a picture of Amber where she's saying she was abused. Okay. And you can see there's a red mark there. I mean, that could have been a mosquito bite. She had very little scarring and bruising to show as proof of being battered. All right. And I'm coming at this from an evidentiary standpoint. I'm not coming at this from the emotion-filled standpoint that most people do because they don't know the facts, okay? I think she had like a little thing going on with her lip there. People said, she could have bit her lip and done that. This is a picture of from their home, her and Johnny, when they lived together. And she said he was writing all over the place. And then the red shows what she was saying back to him. Now, this is someone who's saying this person is battering me, right? Johnny wrote like she loves something, right? And then this different handwriting called Carly. I can't make out the other one, but she's talking about, I bet you think this song is about you, right? So she's taunting him back on the mirrors of their home, right? On the pictures and the walls of their home. And people were saying, oh, there's no such thing as mutual abuse. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. I don't care what an article, then they'll show you that one article. I've never seen 2 articles on it. There's only been one. If somebody starts abusing you and you have the money, the means, the mode to leave, and you stay and begin to abuse them back, hit them back, hurt them back, whatever, that's mutually abusive. Now, again, Johnny won $8.3 million, I believe, which is interesting given the fact that Amber Heard's net worth is speculated to be between 2 to 8 million, at tops 12 million, depending on what Elon gonna drop off for, So she ain't got that money. She ain't got that money, So it's like, how's this all gonna work out, right? Plus, she's still supposed to give the $7 million that she won from the divorce to charity. She still owes the majority of that $7 million settlement that she got from her divorce with him to charity. Now, if you didn't watch the trial, you missed a lot. Okay? Amber said, look at Johnny. Look at him passed out, and he's got ice cream, or his drink is dripping on him, and he's passed out, and she accused him of doing hardcore substance abuse. Okay, which I think he has admitted to occasional use, but he says that it's not an addiction problem for him. The man sat in court looking pretty sober for a month straight. right? And I think a lot of the proof that Amber's team presented against Johnny, the texts, some of the recordings of their conversations showed a man who had been wealthy and famous for most of his life, that had a very hard childhood, being volatile at points, but they never could prove it was directed towards her in an abusive way. They couldn't prove that. And that's why Johnny won. Because they couldn't prove that he was abusing her. Now it's like, oh, how can they not prove it, right? Look at this. She's got this red mark on her. Of course, you guys have to watch the case. Amber is saying that she is being battered. She didn't say he came up to me and slapped me and I ended up with this red lip, right? She's like, he is punching me and battering me. And these are the accusations she accused him of. And the photo evidence that she had to present to prove her case did not correspond to what she was saying. And I think that's why the jury didn't side with her. Again, you're going to have to use your logic. If you're just so emotional filled, like I said, I live it. Okay, so I don't have to scream it. Then you're not going to be able to really understand why the jury, I guess, found her guilty. I mean, but it is what it is, right? This is another, right? You could have rosacea. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. She's like, and this is clearly I've been battered, right? She'll be like, I was my face was swollen and I had to, and it's this looks like somebody without makeup on. Johnny had pictures of his abuse that he says he suffered from Amber as well. In this picture, you can see a clear shiner. And this is a picture that is taken very far away, not as close up as she was getting, right? Very far away. You can see from far away, this man has a shiner. Somebody cold clocked him. Okay? He didn't do that to himself. I think that, he wasn't trying to take these pictures exactly when they happened and come off as an abuse victim. But when he realized that was how she was going to present the story, because she has an aesthetic that is easily believable, I think that's when he decided, okay, well, let me get some evidence of what I've been put through. You know what I'm saying? Now, Johnny had an expert witness come to testify that the pictures from Amber Heard's phone that she presented in this case of her abuse went through a Photoshop app. Okay? So if somebody attacks you or assaults you, right? I've had that happen to me. I took the picture straight from my iPhone and gave it to the Brooklyn DA's office. And because I'm a Black woman, the person was found not guilty. Straight from my phone to the Brooklyn DA's office. It didn't go through an app. There would be really no reason for that, right? But for some reason, the photos that she presented to support her case went through a Photoshop app before they were submitted. Okay? And this is what the expert witness testified to. So Johnny lost a part of his finger, right? And Amber claimed he did it to himself from punching a wall, right? She brought in an expert witness that said it's possible that could have happened, But Johnny brought in an expert witness that says that's not possible to have soft skin corruption. All right, he lost the entire tip of his finger. That's not possible generally for someone to do to themselves from punching a wall. However, if you have a bottle being thrown at you, the force of the bottle, the velocity at which the bottle is coming at your finger, combined with when it breaks and slices your finger, all of that could have contributed to his finger being lacerated. Now, Amber Heard's expert witness said it's unlikely that that could have happened and he wouldn't have cuts anywhere else. But that's not true. If you've ever thrown anything in your life, right? That's not true from firsthand experience. I'm not throwing something. I'm just saying, right? If you ever been around throws or throwings of things, the glass wouldn't explode into a million pieces. This ain't the Matrix, okay? So she lost on that front. This is evidence, guys. It's just evidence. It's not somebody trying to side with a man. Because I'm not going to go out and watch his movies because of this. No. I mean, unless they're good, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? His work is great, but I'm just saying. I'm not like, Johnny, I'm just giving you guys the evidence. Sorry, truth hurts. And if you can give me evidence the way I'm laying this out for y'all right now, because I watched almost the entirety of this court case, then please do. Please do. We'll wait for it. Okay. So this is Johnny again when his hand was lacerated. You don't do that to somebody. I mean, you don't do that to yourself. People will be lacerating their hands all the time. You know how much people punch walls and stuff? Come on. She's saying that when she was married to him, he would, his bowels would release as he was sleeping and things like that. And it's like, if somebody is in the throes of their bowels, not being able to control their bowel movements, why would you take a picture? This is your husband. Why would you take a picture and be like, look at y'all, look, he's sleeping, he passed out. Like, what? Who does that? Somebody that doesn't have good intentions, for sure. What does that have to do with him abusing you? Right? So that behavior didn't add up, and I'm sure it didn't add up for the jury. Now, if you take a look at this photo, you can clearly see that it looks a lot more red in this photo on the left than it does on the right, because it was put through a Photoshop app, and that was proven in court. Okay? You guys okay? You doing okay? For people losing their mind about this. Going hard defending Amber. It's like, if you know anything about Amber, she wouldn't defend you. She wouldn't defend you, I guarantee it. Then they had Kate Moss come through. There was a story in the 90s that was floating around that Johnny Depp pushed Kate Moss down the stairs, allegedly. And Amber Heard used this story and said, the reason I attacked, she will admit to hitting him. He's never admitted to hitting her. You guys gotta listen, watch, okay? She admits to hitting him. They're on the stairs having an argument. And she said, well, the reason I hit him that time was because punched him, hit him, was because I thought that he was going to do something to my sister like he did to Kate Moss. So Kate Moss came through. Kate Moss came through. And she said, Johnny never pushed me down the stairs. It was raining. I tripped. I was crying about it. He brought me back inside. The end. And made sure I was okay. And that's all that happened. He did not abuse me. Now, there was another actress that came through and said that Johnny was possessive, controlling, even threw a bottle in her direction when he was filming the Las Vegas movie. See, I'm sorry, I'm not really great with the names. Fear and Loathing in Vegas, right? And she said he threw a bottle at me. That was like 30 years ago. But okay, I mean, in terms of, we're talking about character, right? She said he threw a bottle at my direction. It did not hit her. So, he can, it looks like he is a compulsive individual that has lacked the ability to control himself, that can be controlling in relationships. But again, this other actress said he never hit me. The mother of his children said his first, I don't know if they were married, his first wife, or was she a longtime girlfriend? She said he never hit me. The mother of his children. Tip of his finger, clean off. What is he, the Hulk? You don't do that from punching a wall. And she said that was her. She was like, well, he punched the wall himself. This does not happen from punching a wall. So what she's saying and what is being presented don't add up. That would make somebody think that you're a liar. That would make it hard for a jury to believe you. Okay, a lot of people are showing this picture. She went to the courthouse to file for a divorce from Johnny. And this is the next day. And that was proven in court that this is the next day. And that's why there was a lot of speculation that she had achieved these bruises through makeup, right? Through bruise kits, which they use in Hollywood. And she's an actress. So when she wants to play the part and look like a victim, she does. And when she's over it, the next day, she's over it. That's what it comes across as. I don't know what this is, but it's bizarre. It's bizarre. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. I've taken pictures of proof of being assaulted, and I didn't have this type of look on my face. Okay, it's bizarre. So I absolutely believe abuse victims. We know from the numbers that in heterosexual male-female relationships, the victim is often a woman. We know that. But it looks like in this case, that's not the case. And that's what the jury, testified to. I mean, that's what the jury decided based on the testimonies and all of the evidence and the witnesses that came through. Okay? Again, the poop in the bed. I think it might have been the dogs. Okay, I think it might have been the dogs. You guys got to understand that cheating on your spouse, sleeping with people while you're married, that's abusive. That's abusive. And they have video evidence of her letting Elon Musk and James Franco into her Johnny Depp's home. I'm like, Elon, y'all couldn't have went to the jet? I know you landed on the roof in the private jet. They say he landed on the roof in the private helicopter, the private jet. You couldn't have taken that elsewhere. You had to go into Johnny's home. Oh, that's low. It's low. James Franco, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by his behavior. You know? But cheating on your spouse is abusive, and then going back to them and kissing them with that same mouth and being like, what's the problem? What's the problem? I still love you. That's abuse. That is abusive. You don't know what you can catch sleeping around with other people, and then you gonna come back to me? Come on. So she was openly behaving this way and doing these things during the course of their marriage. I don't know, like, did y'all not see the evidence? Do you not understand what's going on? What don't you get about that? All of this was proven in court. You know, then her team comes out and they're like, oh, he tried to get her fired from that. That's petty, but we're talking about abuse. Him texting his friends, you know, very dark things. It's petty, but it's not what she's claiming in terms of the abuse she endured. I mean, on the stand, she said, I survived that man. Survived what? Him trying to get you fired? What? She claims very graphic SA, right? Intimacy abuse. And she can't show any hospital records. And yes, not all victims of abuse go to the hospital. I know that. But if you are so severely injured by the abuse you experience, you kind of have no choice. So do you guys understand that? There are abuse victims who will get punched in the face and decide, I'm not going to the hospital. And I understand that. But if someone breaks your leg, you kind of don't have a choice. Do you guys get that? And so again, what she was saying and what she was presenting wasn't adding up. I didn't want her to be lying or a liar. You know, I don't have any stakes in any of this either way, you know? But that's what people found. When she spoke with the jury, right? When she was on the stand, she would answer questions and she would look at the jury every time she answered a question. That's weird behavior. That's indicative of someone that doesn't know how to interact with people, right? And, you know, they accused her of, she could have borderline personality disorder and a bunch of other stuff, right? And a characteristic of borderline personality disorder is anger, uncontrolled anger. And they found communications between Amber and her therapist where she was like, I can't control myself. You can't control yourself for what? Why would you try to control yourself if you're the victim? Right? What's going on there? You know, she has a reputation for having a hard time making herself cry in movies, right? And I think a big reason that she has a hard time crying is because both she and Johnny deal with narcissistic traits and values, right? They have narcissistic qualities. And a narcissist would find crying to be weakness. And it doesn't matter if it's for their own benefit, right? So she can fake cry, but in Hollywood, they want you to use real tears. They can use the fake tears if they have to, but real tears are better. Ask Viola Davis. Holla! Greatest living actress right now, Viola Davis. Even with the Michelle thing going on, she's still Viola. Viola can cry on the drop of the dime because she's in touch with herself and her emotions, and she's not suffering from narcissism, right? I think Amber sees crying as weakness, period. And you can tell that from the audios that she has with Johnny, right? Where she says to Johnny in these audios, what are you going to do? Tell the world you're an abuse victim from me, little old me, a little tiny woman like me? You're going to tell the world that I abused you? Is that what you're going to do, Johnny? That's how she was talking to him. Look, I grew up in abusive situations. I didn't have no back talk. Okay, that's not how you talk to someone that is abusing you, because they could abuse you further, right? By you inciting them. So that's a very bizarre way to talk to someone that's abusing you. Maybe mutually abusive, you could prove, but just abusing you? That's bizarre. You can see here, she, as try as she may, she cannot produce those tears. She cannot produce those tears. We might got one here. Sometimes you try so hard, your eyes start sweating. But when you're recalling, like I was at the pool the other day, and I was telling my swim instructor, I was like, memories of almost drowning as a kid come back to me when I'm in the water. And this is very hard for me. And of course the emotions started welling up and I almost started crying again. And I've cried tears in that pool, okay? And the reason I have is because the memory is so strong of being a young child, almost drowning and not knowing how to swim and fearing that you're going to lose your life. And at one point the lifeguard was looking over me and I was right in front of him and he couldn't see me. He wasn't looking at me. He was looking over me, but I couldn't get to the edge to get out of the water, right? When you're young, you'll go into the deep end and try to be around your friends. And so I'm telling her the story. I can't control the emotion that comes out from telling that story. She was working hard to bring emotions up. And I'm someone that studied body language, nonverbal communication for years in college, okay? So I can tell when the emotions are real and when someone's working themselves up to get to the emotion. There's a difference. That's all I'm pointing out, guys, is that this is what the jury saw. And you can't blame them for finding her guilty when this is what they were seeing, right? Let me play some of the audio recordings of conversations between Amber and Johnny. Now, they both agreed to record each other at various times. I'm not entirely sure why they agreed to that and whatnot, but they both they've had conversations of like, I recorded you so that I could show you what you were doing. That kind of thing, right? So the recordings between Johnny and Amber are submitted by both of them. She recorded him in audio and video, and he recorded her mostly in audio. So let's take a listen to some of those recordings now.
If you lost memory last night of kicking me out the door with the fucker hitting me,
again,
and your memory is gone from you kicking the bathroom door and hitting me in the skull as I was bent down.
I am
Wait,
sorry.
if you have those memory, fucking, divots.
I was upset. There was a lot going on, and I was on an Ambien. Like, why are you obsessing over the fact I can't remember it the way you remembered it? I said I was sorry. I didn't deny it.
I'm not talking about that. What I want to
avoid talking to me. To avoid
escape
working out. That's
to escape
the problem.
the fight.
You don't escape the fight. You escape the solution.
No.
You escape the solution.
No.
You escape figuring it out. We cannot work it out if you run away to the bathroom every time.
Listen to me. A boxer can't go 12 rounds without a fucking minute break.
I'm not giving you a minute break. You do it at minute 3 at the beginning of an argument.
No. There are rounds, man. And when it gets too fucking hairy, the ref splits them apart or whatever. But all I'm saying is, you can't have a solution if the argument just keeps mounting and mounting and mounting and mounting. I fucking go into the bathroom and sit on the floor. Bam, bam, bam. Here you come. I come out. Fight. Crazy. Escalated. I split again. I go to another fucking bathroom or a bedroom or something. Knock. Bang, bang, bang. You kept coming to get me.
Imagine shopping.
NJ, I never said this. Don't lie on me, NJ. I never said that women have no accountability. F out of here. And see, that's the thing. And that's one of the reasons I'm here to correct that narrative. Because men have allowed women that look like Amber Heard to have no accountability. Men. Women didn't do that. Women didn't do that. I didn't allow Amber to have no accountability. Like I said, I've known women that are like Amber Heard, that give off the appearance of Amber Heard, and they want to play a victim, and I will quickly let them know, not around me, you're not going to play the victim. No, you're not, because I don't care about none of that, because I'm not interested in you. You understand that? You don't do anything for me. So it is because men have allowed women that have the aesthetic of Amber Heard to get away with everything, these Karens, and then combined with her, pretty privilege, if you will, combined with a lot of other privileges, okay? That is why women that look like Amber Heard get away with everything. But y'all don't know all women. Did you know that? Because I'm telling you right now, black women are accountable for things that we're not even responsible for, okay? It's very few black women that could get away with what Amber Heard has gotten away with here, according to a court of law. Okay, so let's be clear, NJ. Okay. Yes, yeah. Who made them indoctrinated that way? Huh? Who put out the media? Who did all that work to hammer it in to people's heads that women that look like this are damsels in distress? Who did it? Because that message has been put out for a very long time, and it wasn't because of women. But women that look like Amber Heard are going to take advantage of that. Of course. It's like Chihuahuas. They're not noisy and snappy in nature. It's because people don't train them because they're small. Are you talking about the poo on the bed? Turn! Okay, let's continue listening.
I'm not the one who fucking throws fucking pots and
That's different.
Else at me.
That's different. That's what one does not negate the other. That's irrelevant. It's a complete non sequitur. Just because I've thrown pots and pans does not mean that you come and knock on the door. Just because there are vases does not mean that you come and knock on the door.
Really, I should just let you throw.
I'm not saying that. You're saying that. You're putting words in my mouth and then making non sequiturs.
I'm giving you a situation.
No, you're trying to justify how you don't or do come to the door. based on whether I throw pots and pans. It's irrelevant.
I'm justifying how you seem to think that there's this cowardice in me that runs away and I don't fight for you.
And you're justifying that by saying I throw pots and pans? Okay, cool. Let's talk about everything you do wrong.
I'm not the one who...
You told me to. You said, go do that.
I said, no, tell them what you said.
And I lied.
And that you punched me in the
You're right.
fucking thing. And
You figured it all out.
And you said, no, fucking, I didn't. What the fuck are you talking about? And I watched you lie. And then
I didn't punch you, by the way. I'm sorry that I didn't hit you across the face in a proper slap, but I was hitting you. I was not punching you. Babe, you're not punched.
Don't tell me what it feels like to be punched.
You know, even a lot of fights been around a long time. I know. Yeah.
No, when you fucking have a close
You didn't get punched. You got hit. I'm sorry I hit you like this, but I did not punch you. I did not fucking deck you. I fucking was hitting you. I don't know what the motion of my actual hand was, but you're fine. I did not hurt you. I did not punch you. I was hitting you.
How are you?
What am I supposed to do? Do this? I'm not sitting here bitching about it, am I? You are. That's the difference between me and you. You're a fucking baby.
Because you started...
You are such a baby. Grow the fuck up, Johnny.
Physical fights?
I did start a physical fight.
Yeah, you did, so I had to get the fuck out of there.
Yes, you did. So you did the right thing, the big thing. You know what? You were admirable.
What else
you want to fucking say to me, you piece of shit? What else? You know what I mean? What else say to me? Cool.
What we should look best?
Hey, why don't you fuck yourself? Go suck your own dick like you used to. Oh, also, I'll write you a check for the extra sip I took. Is that okay? Stingy old fucking piece of shit.
You're the one that brought it up.
Mm-mm. You did. You said don't drink my wine. That's mine.
I didn't say that.
Oh, you didn't?
I said I didn't think you were looking for it anymore.
Free wine. Free wine.
Probably defended me pretty good in front of your Rocky and your pop and your mom.
Okay, so I gotta get running. But there's so many more recordings in this case. And sometimes he's yelling at her, right? But you can hear the way she goes at him, right? And she admits on several of these recordings that she is hitting him. How can a jury find someone that admits to hitting someone? How can they say, oh, you're the one that's being abused? He's never admitted it. All the recordings that she presented of him, when he didn't know he was being recorded, he never says, I'm hitting you. But she admits to hitting him, and she taunts him, right? You're a baby. You're a baby for not being able to take these licks. Take this lick. Ah. Okay. Anyways, I want to get back to some of the things you guys said before I head out here. I think what cinched it was when JD's lawyer asked if she was scared of sending all those pictures, videos of him to her friends. And she said, why would I be? You're abused, but not afraid of him, huh? Exactly. Well said, Sunny Days, right? Listen, my mama used to, my behind, baby. It's called childhood domestic violence, to be honest. And it's illegal. Okay, you don't abuse your kids and whatnot. But you know how black folk was doing, back in the day, a lot of folk, it wasn't just black folk, a lot of people experienced their parents putting hands on them, right? I wouldn't tell nobody, I wouldn't send a video and be like, why should I be scared? I was terrified of my mother. I love my mother. I was terrified of my mother to this day. Scariest woman I ever met. Okay, I'm being straight up honest. And it wasn't because she would treat other people like that, because she wouldn't. It was because of how she treated me, right? And she scared me, and I was a child, and I was in a weaker position than her. And when someone's abusing you, you don't want to do anything that's going to set them off, right? So we're just talking about how it don't add up. Also, her descriptions of the assault and the pictures supporting the claims it just doesn't match up. What you want me to do? I'm in the jury, baby. I gotta make a choice. It speaks volumes that the jury decided that she should pay Danie back more than what she was awarded in her divorce settlement with Danie. Speaks volumes. She didn't prove her case at all. Kelly says she doesn't make women look weak because we aren't. She's a sociopathic liar. Exactly. This ain't women, baby. This is a particular person who has gotten away with a particular flex for a very long time. Please thumbs up the video and subscribe if you're in the room. Appreciate everyone for being here. And I'm happy to have this conversation because I'm like, I want to have this conversation. So thanks everyone for being here. Thumbs up the video and don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Thank you. If you're Johnny Depp and you're watching this, hit the thanks button. Okay, come on, Johnny, come through. Okay, all right, moving on. Janae says, do you think this case is more about Karens losing instead of feminism? You're exactly right, Janae. That's exactly why I titled my video this way. And I so appreciate when people can read between the lines and they can pick up what I'm putting down. I can be a very kind of sarcastic between the lines kind of person. And I might say something like, obviously I'm for women's rights. So I'm not like, these feminists. Obviously I'm for women's rights. This is a clear shut case. She did not prove her case. And she knew what she was coming to court for. They just went over the same thing in the UK. She could have got her stuff together. She thought what she had presented was enough because they allowed her to win, in quotation marks, in the UK. Well, the UK is different. You know how they get down. They don't like Meghan Markle. See, they wanted Meghan Markle to leave. They just didn't know Harry was going with her. Well, that's another story. That's another video for another day. Okay. What's up, Black Widow Rowe? Good to see you. She said nobody won, right? Because Amber was also awarded. Okay. So let's be clear here. I think the jury had a hard time, and I knew this was going to happen. One, I knew that they would make the decision on a Wednesday. I knew it. And also I was like, they're going to award both of them. I knew it, right? So what happened in this case was the jury awarded Depp $10 million in compensatory damages and $5 million in punitive damages. The jury awarded Heard $2 million in compensatory damages and no money for punitive damages. All right? Depp sought $50 million in damages and Heard sought $100 million. Okay, which is ridiculous. She sounded like Dr. Evil from Austin Powers with that number. $100 million. It was like, I thought it wasn't about the money. Amber. Remember, I wanted nothing. That's what she said. Baby, if I'm married to Johnny Depp, I'm going to need a fraction of that, baby. I'm going to need a fraction. Okay? I'm going to need 10 on it for every year on it. Okay? Something, put 5 on. I got 5 on it. Put something on it for me, Johnny. 7 mil? I might as well stay with you for 7 mil. Okay, all right. They don't want to hear that. Okay? I'm not leaving with 7 mil, baby. No. Okay, but that's what she decided on so that she could go out in public because she thought that she had, I don't care what nobody say, I'm going to tell you like it is. She thought she had Elon Musk in the bag. And that's why she said, I wanted nothing. And that's why she was like, oh, I don't care if it's only 7 million because she thought she had Elon Musk in the bag. And then he broke up with her, right? Speaking of Elon, before we go, I want to show you guys This picture of Elon Musk and Amber Heard, and it's not lost on a lot of people. One, I think these pictures are kind of hilarious because at least Johnny was paying attention to her. I mean, he looked Ms. when he was with her maybe, but at least he would pay attention to her. Elon, look at Elon. He never even looked at this girl. He never even looked at her. Except for the first time he looked at her to steal, Mr. Steals Your Girl. Okay? He never looks at her. Look at her. She's like looking so hard. She's trying to pretend like she's so cool because she's with Elon Musk, right? And she's all looking hard at him and smiling hard. I would never have posted these pictures. I would never have posted these pictures. But I want y'all to take a look at Elon Musk. Look at his face. Well, I'm not making any accusations. Okay, everything is allegedly that I say. Okay, all my opinions are allegedly. Okay, but people are pointing out that Elon had a shiner on his face as well that corresponded to his relationship with Amber Heard. Everybody falling down the stairs and bumping into walls with you. Also, she was arrested for assaulting her female partner, right? So she was in a relationship with a woman before she was in a relationship with Johnny. And they brought somebody in that testified that they saw her put her hands on her female woman partner. Okay? I use female in a legal sense, guys. I'm not calling women females. You guys know this, okay? But you see what I'm saying? So everybody is just running into walls. Johnny said that she threw a glass of wine in her sister's face and that he felt sorry for her sister because Amber treated her like a punching bag. Let me tell you something. My siblings, I have several siblings, and almost all of them have treated me the way Amber Heard treated her sister. It just happens. They find a scapegoat, a black sheep, Britney Spears. Her family did the same thing to her. They'll do it to you. Your own family treat you like a scapegoat, right? Especially when you grow up in a dysfunction, okay? And Johnny said one time Amber threw wine in her sister's face and she treated her like a punching bag, and I felt sorry for her. And her sister's sitting there looking like the flying monkey that she was determined to be. Okay. Because if I was her, I would have been like, I'm going to side with Johnny and get something on it. You ain't going to have nothing by the time this trial over. Wow. Okay. You shouldn't have put your hands on me before threw that wine in my face. Okay. Get some revenge on her. But she knows that if she doesn't do everything Amber says, Amber will never speak to her again. And their parents are deceased. I think that her mother is. I don't know if her father is. You know, but they're all that they have, right? So her sister's not going to do that. So yeah, to close. Let's see. I had wanted to read. We don't have time to listen to the whole court case and whatnot, but let's take a look at Amber Heard's reaction to the decision. Okay? Let's take a look. One moment.
We, the jury, award compensatory damages in the amount of $10 million. As against Amber Heard, we, the jury, award punitive damages in the amount of $5 million. As against John C. Depp II, we, the jury, award compensatory damages in the amount of $2 million. As against John C. Depp II, we, the jury, award punitive damages in the amount of $0. As against Amber Heard.
Okay. So she was sad. Okay, she gonna cry in the car. She gonna cry in the car. Okay. And that's the most genuine look of sadness I've seen on her face this entire trial. And again, I am someone that has studied for years nonverbal communication, okay? And body language. That's why people can't lie to me, because it don't matter what you say, because I'm watching everything you do. I'm different. Yeah, I'm different, okay? She gonna cry in the car. All right, she looked very sad about that loss. She really thought to the end that people were going to believe her. Incredible, absolutely incredible. But you know, you guys, it's absolutely correct. This is a loss for Karens and for women with the Amber aesthetic and the damsel in distress, perpetual victim approach. This is a loss for them, and a lot of those women have gotten away with taking their husbands out, fathers of their children, like Wendy Adelson, allegedly. She's not on trial yet, and I'll have her take me to court. But you know, they got her brother and her brother's girlfriend. It don't make sense that your brother and your brother's girlfriend are involved in taking your husband out, but you had nothing to do with it. They're gonna get her eventually. Court TV, baby. Shout out to everybody on that Court TV tip. Okay. They're gonna get you, Wendy Adelson, because the time of the damsel in distress, the perpetual victim Karen Beckys, is coming to a close. Y'all have been figured out. The men that gave y'all this power, they don't want y'all to have it no more. Very sad, okay? But that's not a win that's not a loss for feminism. That's not a loss for a woman like me, because I don't get to move in the world like that. I have to be accountable for my actions. Nobody's going to let me get away with nothing. In fact, they're going to blame me for things I didn't do. So I don't care that, you know, the perpetual victims aren't getting away with stuff anymore. It's time for them to be held responsible for their actions, just like almost everyone else in society has to be held responsible for their actions, okay? Mocha Mommy says, Johnny left his family for this woman, his long-term girlfriend and kids. His daughter didn't even attend the wedding. You know, and this hurt his relationship with his kids. And he mentions his kids a lot in all of this. He's like, his daughter is an actress. You don't think this affects her career for people to say that her father is an abuser? It absolutely does. So why would he move like that? Knowing how looked at he is, right? When Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, I haven't heard from Jaden and Willow since. I haven't heard from Jaden and Willow since. People are going to reflect their father's behavior onto them and say, well, maybe I don't want to bring them on for this project. It happens all the time. It's human nature. And he was very much worried and concerned about how his children were having to deal with the consequences of what this woman went out and said. Again, she didn't say, I was in a toxic relationship. We both gave as good as we got. He didn't do right by me. I didn't do right by him. She said, I was physically abused in horrific ways. That's what she claimed. And you gotta watch what you say. Even their statements in response of the verdict, people are saying her statement in response of this verdict is almost more defamatory than the op-ed that she wrote that got her in trouble in the first place. She still hasn't learned that you can't just say whatever you want about somebody. She still hasn't learned that, right? So real quick before I go, I'm going to read you guys their statements about their feelings on the end of this case. Okay? Amber Heard released a statement that said, "The disappointment I feel today is beyond words. I'm heartbroken that the mountain of evidence still was not enough to stand up to the disproportionate power, influence, and sway of my ex-husband. I'm even more disappointed with what this verdict means for other women. It is a setback. It sets back the clock to a time when a woman who spoke up and spoke out could be publicly shamed and humiliated. It sets back the idea that violence against women is to be taken seriously. I believe Johnny's attorney succeeded in getting the jury to overlook the key issue of freedom of speech and ignore evidence that was so conclusive that we won in the UK." And again, she didn't win in the UK technically because it wasn't her case. It wasn't her case. It was his case against magazine over there. She just felt like she won because obviously she was a part of it, right? "I'm sad I lost this case, but I am sadder still that I seem to have a right I thought I had as an American to speak freely and openly." Okay, again, you can speak freely and openly, but you got to watch what you're saying when people's lives and livelihood are on the line. And I will conclude with what Johnny and his team put out about the end of this trial. It was a long trial. It was an interesting trial, one of the most interesting trials I've ever watched. And hopefully it will be a marker for the end of Karens being just outright believed for no goddamn reason, all because they look a certain way. Johnny and his team released a statement that said, "6 years ago, my life, the life of my children, the lives of those closest to me, and also the lives of the people who for many, many years have supported and believed in me were forever changed, all in the blink of an eye. False, very serious, and criminal allegations were leveled at me via the media, which triggered an endless barrage of hateful content, although no charges were ever brought against me." Again, she said a lot of horrific things about him, but never called the police. Oh, the police showed up a few times, and they said they didn't see evidence that she was a victim of domestic violence, and they left. This is what was proven in trial, guys. I'll go back to this statement. "False, very serious, and criminal allegations were levied at me via the media, which triggered an endless barrage of hateful content, although no charges were ever brought against me. It had already traveled around the world twice within a nanosecond, and it had a seismic impact on my life and my career. And 6 years later, the jury gave me my life back. I'm truly humbled. My decision to pursue this case, knowing very well the heights of the legal hurdles that I would be facing and the inevitable worldwide spectacle into my life, was only made after considerable thought. From the very beginning, the goal of bringing this case was to reveal the truth, regardless of the outcome. Speaking the truth was something that I owed to my children and to all those who have remained steadfast in their support of me. I feel at peace knowing I have finally accomplished that. I am and have been overwhelmed by the outpouring of love and the colossal support and kindness from around the world. I hope that my quest to have the truth be told will have helped others, men or women, who have found themselves in my situation, and that those supporting them never give up. I also hope that the position will now return to innocent until proven guilty, both within the courts and in the media. I wish to acknowledge the noble work of the judge, the jurors, the court staff, and the sheriffs who have sacrificed their own time to get to this point, and to my diligent and unwavering legal team who did an extraordinary job in helping me to share the truth. The best is yet to come, and a new chapter has finally begun. Veritas nunquam perit. Truth never perishes. Okay, amen. So we had a little Latin saying at the end there. I think the winner of this case, without a doubt, is Camille Vasquez. Okay, she will probably go down in history as one of the most influential legal attorneys of all time in American history. Camille Vasquez ate this up. I mean, she did the damn thing. She made me want to be a lawyer. She made me want to go to law school. She did the damn thing. Okay, so Camille Vasquez is the winner in this case. And Karen's, your time is coming to a close, hopefully. Hopefully people are starting to understand that just because someone looks a certain way doesn't mean that they're automatically innocent. And let's stop with this false rhetoric of equating Amber Heard's loss to feminism being set backwards, which she deliberately attempted to do in her statement. And I think that's foul. Very foul of her. She did that deliberately because she's a manipulator. So that's it. I gotta get going. Thank you so much everyone for being here. I gotta run. I appreciate your support. Thumbs up the video and subscribe. And we're gonna talk more about things like this in the future. And I will see you soon. One more time for Amber Turd. Okay, that turd sound is from South Park, if you wonder why I say it like that. Okay, Amber Turd in the Johnny Depp case. Amber Heard. Oh my God, I really, because you guys keep saying it, that's why. Oh my goodness. Okay, and that's it. That's it for this case. It's wrapped up. We'll see. I mean, where's she gonna go? What's she gonna do? What's she gonna do now? You know, so we'll be paying attention. But yeah, this is all very interesting. I appreciate you all for being here. I'll see you soon. Thumbs up the video, subscribe. Love you. Mwah, bye.